episode 25 here tonight. I'm joining the boys for the first time here in quite some time for the traditional format, that is. I think me and Jake were talking, it's been like all the way back to episode 3.
Yeah, it's almost 2 years ago at this point.
I think we're just going to follow the traditional format tonight here for Waxing On episode 25, or return to format, if you will. We've got some new picks, some new pickups here in recent weeks, and we've got quite the variety that we're going to be bringing tonight as well. I know that we've got a little bit from almost every genre out there. We've got most of the bases covered, that is. And so, Jake, why don't you started? I think we're going to probably play rapid fire tonight, and maybe we'll hit on some shows that we recently been to toward the end, depending on where we're at with time.
Yes. All right, sounds good. My first pick is the band Spaced, Buffalo, New York, hardcore punk band. This is their second LP. I'm out of outer sleeves here, so I don't have any. I need to get some.
I'm in the same boat.
So we got it on green vinyl here, released on the iconic Revelation Records. You know, that have put out bands like Sick of It All, Gorilla Biscuits, The Movie Life, Newfound Glory, all kinds of great bands. This is amazing hardcore record, one of my favorite releases of 2024. 8 tracks, 16 minutes, so it's a quick listen. It's very anthemic, a lot of groove, very positive, awesome lyrics. Here's the lyric sheet, cool little lyric sheet. Got the Spaced logo, got the Revelation Records logo, and yeah, I love this record. It's up there with the Neck Deep LP on my favorite releases so far of 2024, and has a lot of replay value. And like I said, if you like musically, if you like early Turnstile, like Set to Rhythm and Nonstop Feeling musically, I think you'll dig it. So yeah, check that out. Spaced. The record is This Is All We Ever Get, released on Revelation Records. And here's a shot. I love the shot of the band right there on the back. And if I had to pick a favorite track, it would be either track 2, Big Picture. That's a great one. But on the second side, there's the second track on the second side, The Difference. That is becoming one of my favorites because the hook is like, born to lose, but we refuse. Born to lose, but we refuse. The difference between me and you. Yeah, it's just a nice little earworm. And that's my first pick. Spaced. This Is All We Ever Get.
Rat Race, another fantastic.
Rat Race, that riff is. Yeah, that riff is. That's a riff right there.
I love that album. I'm still listening to that.
I love it.
Ever since you showed me it. It is fantastic.
Space, This Is All We Ever Get. That's my first selection.
It's really good.
Kind of curious, is there any parts that are enhanced?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it all sounds better. All records to me sound better because, you know, I love Spotify, but they compress the shit out of it because there's how many songs on Spotify? I'm sure they have to, you can't, you know, or the audio, I know the audio qualities, like.
It's just with the fact of, like, streaming it off over the air. It would take too much data to like, stream like a Lossless or a FLAC or whatever.
But I will say another thing about the record is track 4 is like an awesome interlude. And if you're, for, you know, a great thing about vinyl and physical media, it's perfect because that's the last track of side A, and then it leads you into the side B with Rat Race. Yeah. So that's one of the cooler interludes that I've heard in a long time. It's called AIATB, whatever that it means or whatever that word is. I'm not quite sure, but it's an awesome interlude. So yeah, Space, This Is All We Ever Get. That's my first pick. And second pick here, we're going a little something different, a cool band that I think Space could open for. I think it would work. And that is the iconic Florida band, pop punk, punk rock, easycore, the godfathers of easycore, Newfound Glory, with their first and only live record as of 2024, Kill It Live. It's summertime, which means for me, I don't know about you guys, but I love live records. And especially I listen to, I mean, pop punk, everybody knows I like pop punk, but especially in the summer, I listen to a lot of pop punk, like hair metal, pop punk, anything that's fun, country music.
Like there's bits of hardcore sprinkled throughout that.
Absolutely. I mean, literally before the start of track 6, he says, "At least I'm known for something." He says, "Where are all the hardcore kids at?" Mm-hmm. And it is confirmed. I've said this. Pop punk is music. Music is made better by people who listen to other forms of punk and hardcore. If you're a pop punk band or artist and only listen to pop punk, I don't trust you. It's simple. I don't trust you. And it's 20 tracks, 17 live tracks. This was recorded at the in Anaheim, California, at the Chain Reaction. So it's like a more intimate set. They did 2 nights. One of the nights is filmed, recorded more than the other because Chad Gilbert You guys are guitar players. I don't know what happened, but he got like shocked and he got electrocuted and passed out on stage. Whoa. So like, there's only like one of these nights that is really recorded on here. The other night is not recorded so much. Released on Bridge 9 Records, by the way. Awesome classic hardcore and punk label. And
the Ian on the back, or isn't Ian the bass player?
Yeah, Ian's the bass player. Yeah. Yeah, we got the 5. One of these guys we won't talk about because he's a piece of shit. But yeah, this guy, these other 4 guys, yeah,
are the good guys.
Yeah. Good guys. So 20 tracks, 17 live tracks, and you got to love it when a compilation or a live record has 3 new studio tracks to get you to buy it. Like here we got 2 new studio tracks for this greatest hits or live record or compilation. So with I Want to Believe, Connect the Dots, which is an all-time great riff. It's in your head all the time. So yeah, Newfound Glory, Kill It Live. Live record season for me. And that is my second pick. And then my third pick is a CD single. I think it's a little fitting because it's purple skies tonight.
Yeah.
We got the icon Prince here.
We got the purple lights going.
Purple lights with the Future single, which if you don't know what the Future is, it is faintly played in the beginning of the Batman 1989 movie when it's a shot of the like all the people walking in Gotham City in the beginning, and it's also track 1 on the Batman album. And after watching the Vice documentary about all the Batman movies that it's really fucking good. You guys would love it if you haven't seen it.
I still haven't watched it yet.
It has got me fallen in love with the Prince Batman album, and it's also I'm on a mission to collect every single from this album. So I got The Future, which was the 5th single, the 5th and last single released from the Batman album, and it was only released in Europe. So this is a European pressing. Ooh. I got this off of eBay from a extreme Prince collector. No, this person, I have no idea if it's man, woman. They just show off their entire collection, and while like putting stuff there for sale, this person literally in their eBay pictures has a little red Corvette.
Oh, nice.
With the license plate, Little Red Corvette. They live in Florida, so there must,
Does he wear a raspberry beret?
I have no idea. But I got this off of eBay. The Future, it's a European single. This is the 5th and final single, so I just got to get Scandalous, which is a top 5 Prince song for me. The Arms of Orion, Bat Dance, and Party Man. And then I got to get the actual album. So that is one of my missions for 2024. And that is my third and final selection. Prince, the Future single, CD single.
We got to throw out there. Pam liking your shirt.
Thank you, Pam. No pressure. They're for the people.
Dylan giving us some love.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Let's move on to what you got slated, Ridge, unless you want me to go before you.
I'll go ahead and go. I'm going to go quick with this one. I have 4 LPs that I've acquired probably in the past 2 weeks. I've been really absolutely just immersing myself with. And the first one I want to talk about is the brand new bongripper Empty LP. This is absolutely amazing. If you love anything doom, stonery, sludge, it's right up there. This is an absolutely perfect record. They released it on 420, which was cool. It's absolutely amazing. It's 4 tracks. It's a double LP, and each track has its own side. But I hit up my boy at Meteor Gym and got this exclusive little like Coke. It's like it's kind of hard to say. It's like a Coke bottle, like clear, with splatter. It's really cool. They only did 400 of each variant. So nice. Like they're all. I just checked a minute ago, and they're all sold out except for like the black variant. It's pretty cool. Yeah, this whole thing is an amazing trip. Like we were talking about it earlier today about how this is just like you can put this on, take a long drive.
Absolutely.
And it is absolutely perfect. Like it is dissonant, beautiful, and hopeless all at the same time. Like it sounds, it is well put together. It's been a while too since they released the last album. It's very good. Can't recommend that anymore. Bongripper, Empty, fantastic. fantastic. This is a artist who is very near and dear to my heart. Growing up with finding like bands like Joan of Arc, Captain Jazz, then American Football, and absolutely everything that Mike does, I love a lot. This album is The Fall of Sue by Owen, which is Mike from Joan of Arc and Captain Jazz, in American Football.
Owls.
Yeah. And this came dropped right before my birthday. I really liked the singles that were on it, which was Beauchamp and Hit and Run were amazing. When I finally got to like stream it before I bought it, I was uncertain about the album. I didn't really know. I remember texting you. I was just like, I don't know about this album. He's doing something different that he's never done before. A lot of kind of twangy, weird. I don't know how to put it. Did you listen? Did you get a chance?
I listened to. I liked the single. What is it? The hell's Bo Coop?
Yeah.
And then the song, was it called With or Without You?
With or Without You.
That's a really good song. Those are the two ones that I like the most. With You, Without You.
Plaisant or something like that. But
the acoustic guitar on that single, though, is out of this world. It's like the electronic synth or whatever.
Like he's doing a lot of that stuff and less of just like the noodly, just acoustic guitar and him singing, which he's done in Owen for like multiple albums. Yeah. But he branches out and does a lot of new things in this, and when you listen to it completely, and especially like when you listen to the record, it's a completely different album, in my opinion, than the streaming of it. But yeah, it's fantastic, indie, folk, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I'm not going to go forever on it, but I got this really cool, it's called the Early Bird.
I don't know if I've ever seen a colorway like that.
It's like a candy wrapper or something. So I mean, like you kind of look at it, it looks like a hard candy.
Okay.
Remember like what your grandparents would give you or something like that? Like old lady come in, I'll give you hard candy.
Because they didn't want to give you the good stuff.
Yeah, I got the limited 1,000 Early Bird on that.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't recommend that enough. Trust me, this is a really good album. Owen, The Fall of Sue.
Love it.
Then we know about this one. Brand new Cloud Nothings.
Goddamn right.
Yes.
Son.
Final Summer.
That's top 5 albums.
What a good record. From front to back. It's amazing. Like, Mouse Policy rules. I'd Get Along. But my favorite song on this.
There's no skips.
Yeah, there's no skips. I'd probably say my favorite track off of this is probably Mouse Policy. I think it's just fun.
At first I didn't campus, but it grew on me because it just kind of had like that nostalgia feel with the lyrics and stuff. It just kind of made me think of our party days and stuff.
Yeah, which is weird because it's like they're going into this roots of like a kind of like a college kind of like crowd or something. But these dudes got to be older than us.
They got to be in the ballpark.
But it's fantastic. You guys,
well, that's cool. That's like
yeah, this is
glitter or something. Yeah,
I got the.
I fucking wish I had that.
Yeah, this was limited glitter sea blue, limited to 250.
That's one of the most beautiful vinyls.
But it's probably not going to show up on this, but you can maybe see there's all this like sparkle. There's like glitter all in it.
Yeah,
and it doesn't affect the play. Play sounds amazing. It's really good.
Also,
Cloud Nothings.
They are on one of the best labels out in the game, Pure Noise Records now.
Yeah.
They're a Pure Noise band now.
They're on that.
Shout out to Pure Noise Records.
On Pure Noise now.
I support any band that's on Pure Noise, even the Star Wars band. Have you seen that?
The Star Wars band?
Where they dress up like Star Wars and play like progressive metal?
No.
They're on Pure Noise now.
No, I have not seen that. One thing that I really appreciated is remember like when we seen Cloud Nothings? And
yeah,
weren't they were just as a 3-piece at that time. Yeah.
Yes.
And the way that he plays guitar, where he is doing like the rhythm and then the lead lines, which is similar to how I always played. So it really attached me more to this album. It felt like that live setting, like sort of, didn't feel like there was a bunch of overdubs or anything like that. It was just like straight rock and roll, and it ruled. And my fourth is a good one. Really good one. which is the brand new Full of Hell coagulated bliss.
Excellent.
This one is a grinder.
That's very cool. Color there.
Got that little Bandcamp exclusive thing. I actually ordered this. They always do like those teasers where it's like midnight, something's happening.
Right.
And I was like, what's going on? And somebody like commented and was just like, new albums dropping. They're going to do pre-orders on Bandcamp. And so I went straight to the Bandcamp, bought that one. And then the day later, they released the pre-orders on Closed Casket and had like more limited copies. But I'm still like happy with this. The album sounds fantastic. They're really finding themselves in this album. I think it's a little cleaner, in my opinion, from their 40, 50 releases they've
According to Hard Lord episode, they have 31 releases total.
Yeah. 31.
Great.
Good luck trying to track all them down.
Yeah, they've done a lot of splits.
And you can feel a lot of their influences just between like industrial, grind, hardcore, death metal. Everything's there. Couldn't ask for more in a Full of Hell record. It's I don't know. I mean, I do wish there was a little more of the harsher, hissy kind of sounding.
It's still there. It's just layered.
Yeah, but it's like it's time.
It still sounds like human beings are playing it.
Yes, it does. It does.
It's just sounds good.
Yeah, it does.
Sounds like those human beings are in hell and possibly dying. They're part of the Devil's Orchestra.
Beautiful record. And it's like a little glossy cover. Sweet insert.
By the way, a hell of a saxophone solo on the last track, I believe.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Insert's super cool.
I'm loving
There is a saxophone player in Full of Hell, right?
Yeah, he's the second guitar player that tours with
I thought so. I was just making sure that I wasn't making that up.
I knew like they did a lot of like European tours, and Spencer wasn't able to go, so the other guy, which I can't, sorry if I'm forgetting your name, I'm not seeing anywhere. He went to like Europe, did tour with them and everything, but he does like the saxophone stuff, I believe. But look at that bear. Look at that bear, that's cool.
Oh, dude, the album artwork, just like flipping through it and everything. They're a band that literally thinks of everything conceptually, like, the artwork and the lyrics and the sound and how they layer, and I just love that they bring like their A game to every facet of it, for sure.
They do.
Yeah.
They're
good shit.
I mean, they've been grinding for years, and I'm glad.
I love how they put up the little thing on social media that was like, would you want us to play live with nothing? Our album? And then within 24 hours later, they announced a live show.
Funny thing, you remember back, what was it? It was like, 3-4 years ago? Maybe it was before COVID or right after COVID. They toured with Converge. And I was like, next Full of Hell album, they're going to sound a little like Converge. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And my opinion there is, which I mean, Jacob Bannon
is on
the last track of this album, but it has a lot of little Converge noodling and feel mixed with full of Hell's classic sound.
Right.
That's my last pick. I'm gonna pass the torch, but yeah, lots of good stuff. Definitely check it out.
I'll come in with a like-minded group of folks with my first pick. Yeah, it's the second pressing, unfortunately, but I don't care. Got my Portrayal of Guilt and Chat Pile split 7-inch. These are two of my favorite bands right now, so the fact that they did a collab album together is amazing. This album artwork is
very cool.
It doesn't transfer to this screen, but this actually comes off like holographic almost, like the lettering actually pops off in the back. Pretty cool little print. I ended up getting, this is the only one they have in stock, but I actually preferred this print personally. It's white with the black splatter.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Kind of makes me think of Doc Martens a little bit. I don't know why. But yeah, man, these guys, amazing album artwork too, the next ATI podcast episode is going to be my interview with James, the drummer from Portrayal of Guilt. So be sure that you
yes, check that out. I'm so stoked for that.
Yeah,
it'll be a good one.
Me and James hit it off pretty good, and I think it won't be the last time we'll be talking to him. So that's my first one.
Get them maybe meet up with them in St. Louis the next time they come through and get some barbecue.
I think that's happening. We've got a good streak of that happening lately. I think we're going to be meeting up with Maul here in June too.
Yeah.
All right. My next pick, Hardcore Legends on Broken Wings, Days Records. These guys came at my musical boom, I would say, was like 05-ish, just like an explosion into various genres and stuff. And I know, Ridge, that I got turned on to these guys either through you and Garrett or us getting Marcus's iPod. It was like just all kind of the same time.
I think it may have been through Garrett. I actually was never that big of an On Broken Wings fan. And I don't know why. I need to go and listen to them.
That's a classic album.
This album specifically, this album is fucking incredible. It's kind of characterized as kind of like moshcore, like that subgenre in particular, which you fucking listen to it and it's pretty apt, right? So you want to mosh.
Ass beater music.
Yeah. On Broken Wings, some of us may never see the world. And Days Records, very first time printed on vinyl as well. So I got the first pressing. I was very excited about getting this, and I'm so glad that Jake reminded me that it was dropping because I almost forgot. Boy, I threw this on, and the kids started going crazy. I think I sent you guys a video. They were like off the wall and like wrestling each other and shit. So that was pretty fantastic. All right, so that's my second pick. My third pick is going to be an incredible, iconic album. This might be, you'll see this in my conversation with James from Portrayal of Guilt, but I kind of gave love to this drummer in particular, Tucker Rule from Thursday, as being one of the most influential drummers on leveling up my playing. I stole so much shit from him. If you've ever heard any of my drumming on the World's albums, We Were Statues, I can't tell you how many things I ripped off from that dude. Listen to it, and you will be able to tell in particular. Amazing print, very limited pressing. I got this too through, I think it was U Group, did a limited run.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
So
got the little block in the middle.
Yeah. And it's real cool, like, design for the album artwork in it. I call it design because it's more like, I guess it's more like a CD booklet. So like kind of the traditional CD cover whenever I had it on CD. But like the album artwork's like alternative inside of it, and it's really great.
That's cool.
It's almost like Jock, the comic book artist. If anybody's familiar with him, some of the artwork that's in it, it's really, really cool, man. Like, and then how the lyrics are written and stuff. It almost reads like a damn kidnapping letter in places. Not that it has like cutout letters or anything, but it just has kind of like that vibe to me. So yeah, man, this is just like one of the biggest, like most influential albums for me as a musician in general. So, and Jeff Rickley, amazing lyrics on this album. I mean, I can just go on for days.
After Full Collapse, the one right after, right?
Full Collapse is right before.
Yeah,
this is right after.
That's the one right after Full Collapse, right?
Right.
Yeah. I bought that CD before I think it was senior or junior prom, and I just like played it the whole time. Like when we were like going to get food and driving back to the dance afterwards. I think we played it like 4 times through that night. So I just like always attach that memory to any time I listen to that album. And then it's just like where all the time comes on, and then it just going back and thinking like as being like a kid and just being like, yeah, we're all due.
Like, it's so good. There's so many great songs on that. So many underrated B-sides even. That's ascending.
The Stand Still song. The album that's coming out in a couple weeks. I'm kidding, but that is one of the new Stand Still songs. Steps.
Well, real quickly, if you go on to Thursdays, you can like order their latest single, and they got like a Long Island hardcore shirt now too. I meant to send you a screenshot of that.
Really?
Jake. Yeah. It says LIHC for Long Island
hardcore. I need that. I'm fucking Long Island. I feel like I'm, from Long Island. I've never even been.
Yeah. So we're gonna go on my next pick. Top 10 rap album of all time.
I agree.
Nas. It's incredible. He wrote this album between the ages of 16 and 18. Came out in 1994.
Crazy.
20th anniversary mix. So he came back and remixed it 20 years later. So yeah, that's why he gets the alternative artwork and then the Roman numerals over the eyes for 20 as well. Whenever Record Store Day hit this year, they did a special edition of Nas's remix of Illmatic. And I picked that up, and I intended to pick up an edition of this because I didn't have it in the collection yet. And they were like out everywhere I went. So I was kind of pissed off. But fortunately, I found this 20. I've been like with rap albums in particular, I've been like kind of revisiting the remix versions of them. Yeah. Normally, I probably wouldn't, but I've found a lot of like nice surprises with these remix versions of albums. So,
are you pleased with that remix? Does it sound good?
It sounds incredible, dude. I played like 2-3 times through on the turntable immediately whenever I brought it home.
Life's a Bitch which may be one of the greatest songs in music history.
Life's a bitch and then you die.
That's why we get high. Unbelievable. 30 years old this year.
And then also, speaking of Record Store Day, if you haven't yet, check out our episode 24 of us.
Blake Worley.
With Blake Worley from Record Store Day.
Friends of the show, Blake Worley, and these guys killed it with their Record Store Day episode. That was real fun, fast-paced, and it's a quick, easy watch. So, yeah, I recommend
like, 15, 16 minutes?
Yeah, it's a quick one.
Yeah, go check it.
Yeah, for sure. Next one, another iconic band and a combination of two albums, technically, Radiohead's Kid A Nesia. So this is Kid A and combined into one album. And they did this. I remember when this happened, but I was just like, oh, well, I'll just get the two things individually. Well, it's kind of hard to get copies of those two albums individually, especially like something that isn't like watered down pressing and still pay an astronomical amount of money. But to get both of those albums in this vinyl pressing for the price, I got it under $60 as well, was well worth the buy. It's like there's so many LPs in here too. I think there's 3, if not 4. And then everything has like its own little custom sleeve, and all the artwork's like crossover from both albums as well. Yeah. I really like the concept, and like Radiohead touches everything and oversees everything that's released of theirs too. So it's got that personal touch. It's like incredible. Like, yeah, this is another vinyl sleeve. I took them out of the vinyl sleeves and put them in the archive sleeves, but I kept them inside of the booklet. Just like, while listening to it. But yeah, this is the other side of the cover. So they incorporated both album artworks on the covers as well. Yeah, pretty thick booklet. And then I'm going to fly in with my last pick. This one's a bit of a ball breaker.
You are a ball breaker. I talked about that album on the Record Store Day episode.
Yeah, you bought Ball Breaker on CD.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We got Melancholy, Infinite Sadness.
Ooh.
I'm a huge Smack Pumpkins guy, of course.
Is that the box?
And yeah, this is the box.
Oh,
like the
nice. Jesus.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah. This sumbitch, if you buy it retail at a store, most mom and pops are going to charge you at least $130. I was going to buy this on Record Store Day, even with 10% off. It was not enough of a discount, so I bought it online for about $40 cheaper, to be honest with you. But this is really cool. What I want to highlight about this, of course, is the 2 booklets that come with it. So, like, there's this, like, pleather-bound CD booklet, or booklet for the LP, that is, excuse me. And then all the lyrics are in this one in particular. And they've got, like, little emblems at the bottom of each one to kind of incorporate with, like, the album artwork themes and stuff. So that part of it's really fucking sweet. And then they got this other booklet to come with it, which is more of, like, what the CD art was back in the day, for the album.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then you flip through this guy, and it's all just, like, various artwork. Some more, like, lyrics and stuff in there that, like, yeah, check this out.
Oh, sick, dude.
Yeah. Like, seriously, dude, this is like, I don't know, 20 plus pages. Like, you could just throw the record on and just sit through these books the whole time and listen to them. 4 LPs. That was my last pick, was Melancholy Infinite Sadness. There's the back.
Hell yeah.
Dude, that's beautiful.
Yeah, man. It's, I mean, you really can just enjoy this for the album artwork alone. I mean, it's, it's an insanely long album, as it were. Anyways, like, I think if you buy the cassette, I don't know if you've ever seen the cassette pressings of it, but it comes what looks like in a book bind almost. Yeah, and there's 4 cassettes. Like, it's crazy how big an expanse this is. Like, as a kid when this came out, I didn't really realize that. But, having it as an adult, there's just so much nostalgia with that album outside of the fact that it's just, like, objectively good. Tonight, 1979's on there. Butterfly with Wings. And it's got some deep cuts on there, too. Like, some of their best riffs are actually on this album, which everybody kind of thinks of this because of its music videos, kind of like the art house aspect of it. Like, fucking thick-ass riffs on here. So, yeah, I really enjoyed that.
One of those songs, Raven's theme in ECW?
I don't recall.
I thought it was a Smashing Pumpkins song.
It probably was.
Being like,
the world is. I think it's that one.
Yeah.
I'm not. Don't quote me on that. I think that was his theme. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, Paul Heyman liked to use a lot of commercial music and kind of got a loophole in general.
Well, Paul Heyman just said, "I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it."
Taz had old Kiss's War Machine, right?
Taz was War Machine. Yes, which that's my favorite ECW entrance, besides Sandman, obviously.
Right.
So, very cool, brother.
A legend.
Very cool.
Right. Yeah, so that kind of wraps up my pick.
First, I do want to say I did see Free Throw last Wednesday as of we're recording this at Blueberry Hill, and they were fantastic. Objectively, one of the best shows I've ever seen at Blueberry Hill. St. Louis went crazy for them, so that was really cool to see. And then April 26th, sporting locally, went to the Park Hills Underground to see some friends in the Cinema Story. That was an awesome show, and Ben Diesel as well. But the show that I was most excited for, I went to this week, was seeing one half of the greatest selling duo of all time, a rock and roll Hall of Famer, part of the Songwriting Hall of Fame, and I got this little card that was at the City Winery at the table when you sat down at your table, and that is John. That is John Oates. That is John Oates at the City Winery, and it's like a little pre-save thing for his album that comes out next Friday, people. May 17th, Reunion by John Oates is available on all streaming platforms, and hopefully there's a vinyl. Yeah, incredible show. I've never been to anything like that in my entire life. It was very weird, and I almost had like main character syndrome there, I felt like, because this is at a winery. It felt like it was a great venue, great atmosphere, great food, boozing, hammered, John Oates excited. But, people aren't that excited. Like, they weren't, like they were clapping, but it's fucking John Oates. And after every song, I would keep saying, that's John Oates right there. Yeah. Because I mean it. It wasn't me being like a fucking jokester or.
Well, that is your passionate band.
Right? Yeah. This dude was in the We're of the World. Like, he was in part of We're of the World. Yeah. Like, this is a legend, living legend. And I'm this close to him. And amazing set. If you're a music fan of any kind, you would enjoy this. It's like weird. Like, you got a pedal steel player, a cello player. Like, very musical, and it's not anything like Hall & Oates. And during the set, he said, "You guys thought you were going to get Maneater, weren't you?" Like, he was like joking about it. He even, one of the songs on his new album, he wrote about a lot. Like, it's also the show was a great history lesson because he is a walking knowledge about music that from the 1920s and 30s, like Jimmie Rodgers and Mississippi John Hurt and all these like old times musicians. And he would talk about his influences and stuff that you wouldn't think would be his influences. And before one of the songs about a duo, he said, duos fight sometimes and they don't get along. He was like joking, and then everybody started laughing in the crowd, and he's like, "Wait, what are you guys laughing about? Is there something I should know about?" Like, acting, playing dumb and stuff. And then, halfway through the set, someone else, another person that was just acting just as crazy as I was, they were talking about something about a Hall & Oates song he was about to play, and said, the guy in the crowd says, "At least you can hit the notes," talking about Daryl Hall. And John Oates just says, I'm not gonna comment on that. So, but the one, and then I got to interact with him while he was performing, and I wasn't. Hopefully, he doesn't think I was being a fucking dick, because after he played like a deep cut Hall & Oates song, I said, "Marigold Sky, fantastic record," and I started naming tracks that he sung on off that record, and he's like, "Thank you." Thank you for saying that, because hopefully people will go listen to an album that no one ever listened to. I don't know if he was joking or but I was seriously excited. I wasn't being like a fucking dick,
He knows.
And then again, he acknowledged me when he said, "Thanks for coming out tonight." And I said, "Oh, we'll be here next time." I'm used to these loud rock shows where you can be loud as fuck and they hear everything there. So, I felt like a little bit of a drunk asshole there, but I was all out of support. And him talking back and forth to me on stage was wild. And then after the show, it's at the City Winery's at it's like the factory. So it's like all kinds. We're sitting outside of the factory there. The foundry. And he's just, walking on by out the back exit of the door. And I didn't see him till he's about to cross and go across into the parking garage. And I yelled, "John Oates," and he said, "Thanks for coming again." And I stood there like a bitch and did not get a picture, which I probably should have. But I was so in the moment I couldn't. That's a legitimate musician, a famous person walking. Just he's carrying his gear out. He's doing it for the love of the game. He doesn't have to be doing this. He is loading out his gear. That is that tells you that he is not a faker of the faith. He does it because he loves it. So I'm rambling on, but that was an amazing experience, and one of my favorite shows I've ever been to. Incredible. So, and he closed with a Louis Armstrong "We Are the World" cover that was out of this world.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, amazing show. I don't know how City Winery. It was just weird. I'm not used to that. This is a different vibe for me. I was the youngest. We were the youngest people there too. Swear to God, hand to God. The only person that could not file for senior citizen, ARP or whatever. The only people there.
You and Blake went, right?
Me, Blake, Derek, and Jake Wilson. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I rambled on a lot about it, but it needed to be told. You also went to some shows.
I did. I'll start with I guess 3-4 weeks ago, I went to Better Lovers. Other bands, Foreign Hands, I enjoyed. Grey Haven was there as well. I was kind of familiar with them. Friends of the show, Oversize, had some dudes from Grey Haven do a song with them, and so they were kind of on my radar to check out. CU Space Cowboy was also on the bill. I did not really hang in there for the CU Space Cowboy, but I'll just say Better Lovers, exactly what I expected, and then some. Crazy energy, members of Dillinger Escape Plan, and Every Time I Die, they brought that same energy that all those bands bring. St. Louis went off, and Greg was in the crowd surfing. People were holding them up. Jordan, the bass player, both like dove with their instruments, and like people caught them and walked them right back up to the stage.
Awesome.
Right. I mean, people were going off, but it wasn't like like people were trying to annihilate each other. It was like everybody was in it. Like, we're gonna be crazy tonight, but we're gonna like be respectful of each other. It was just like an amazing thing. Like, you don't experience that all the time. It was literally one of the best live shows I've ever been to. The band sounded great. They played great. Great warm up songs. Just an incredible band. I've seen Dillinger. I've seen Every Time I Die. I kind of knew what to expect as far as like what they bring live, and those guys are still doing it, man. It's just incredible to see it, and I'll see them every time they come to St. Louis. And props to St. Louis for turning out. They sold out the show.
Wonderful.
That show was sold out within 3 weeks of the tickets coming out. It was one of, I think they sold out about a quarter of their shows. I tried to keep an eye on that. But St. Louis, I think, was the first one to sell out.
That's awesome to hear.
For sure.
That was off Broadway, right?
It was off Broadway, and I talked to every single person in the band except for the drummer, which is weird because I would normally talk to the drummer. But yeah, I talked to everybody in the band. Talked to Will. Will was the last one I talked to because he was like really trying to chum it up with the sound guy, and I was like trying to find my opportunity. I just like walked up and patted him on the back. Was like, "I love everything you do, man. Thank you, everything you do for music in general. Just mad props." And he was like, "Well, thanks, man." So that was cool to get that opportunity to talk to him. Yeah, so the last show I went to was Slowdive and Drab Majesty with my wife, and that was like the perfect show for us to go to. I'm a huge shoegaze person in general. It's probably like top 3 genres for me. And Slowdive, The Legends. I mean, I didn't walk. They could have certainly played more songs that I liked, but also I didn't walk away disappointed. They did a good mix of, stuff off of every era of them as well. Even played some newer stuff. And honestly, I didn't really like the new album didn't click with me until I saw it live. The album that they did last year, and I went back since and listened to that. I'm like, yeah, this shit hits. Yeah, it's bands like that have been together for over 30 years. It's hard to like maintain that sound and not change because you're like entirely different people over that period of time. But somehow they've managed to like be the same band consistently. I mean, like even when they played a set, it was like seamless. Like other bands that I've seen that have been bands for almost 30 years, like there's definitely a fragmentation in the sound, through a set list, and so fluid. Drab Majesty was a surprise. Basically it's just 2 guys getting out there playing their instruments, and they played like some tracks and stuff. But I like was already prepared for what they did because I've watched plenty of their live videos, and but they killed it as well. They really got the crowd warmed up, and I want to highlight St. Louis once again as a crowd, as fans, because that is one of the shows that I've seen the least amount of cell phones out at. Like, people were just locked into the moment. Like, I think everybody kind of had the same strategy. I know I had this strategy. It was like, I'm going to take a couple videos, a couple pictures, but like I'm 80% of the show, I'm not going to be on my phone, and I'm going to enjoy this. You take your pictures, videos just so you remember it. I feel like and so, like 3, 4 years down the line, like, so I don't forget being in that moment. But outside that, like anymore, I've been like 80% just locked into like what's happening in front of me. Got the wife a little too gummied up too. Had her eat a high potency edible, and she didn't know what she was in for. So that was a nice little sneaky surprise for her as well. So I think she enjoyed it a little extra.
Right?
Yeah, it was at the pad, and it was sold out as well.
Did they play Allison?
Yes, they did. Absolutely. Yeah, come on. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of funny because like I've started to notice this too with bands like, it seems like the Spotify top 5, is like always in the set list regardless. It doesn't matter. It's getting shoehorned in there. Oddly, kind of like a younger crowd than what I expected to, because like Slowdive's been around for a while. I mean, there were certainly some older heads in there, but I'd say like the median age was probably like late 20s, maybe early 30s. So like we were kind of on the scale of like the older people there, because we're more closer to 40 than 30. But yeah, 2 great shows. I'm on a good run right now. Jake and I are about to go see Knocked Loose, and
can't wait for that.
Speed,
Loathe, Show Me the Body.
The Body, yeah. So I'm pretty excited. I mean, that's quite the variety there. Speed. So I think I'm most excited to see Speed personally. I've never seen Knocked Loose. I wish I'd seen them earlier, but it is what it is. I'm not going to complain about seeing them now.
They're great live, but they're fantastic. Yeah.
I have no doubt.
More than any other band. This will be like seventh time seeing Knocked Loose, I think.
Wow.
So
incredible.
I'm excited to see them, but Speed I've never seen, and this is their first huge, real, like big tour in the United States. So I'm super excited for them.
I want to see Speed at like the Sinkhole.
Well, that would just it would tear the fucking. I think it would tear the roof off the place.
Like Speed with barricades.
I'll take what I can get right now.
Yeah.
I will say, well, you were at this show. You can talk to this more, but like Turnstile, the last Turnstile show that they played at the pageant, I don't think there was much respect for that barricade roll, especially toward the end of the set.
No, they let people up stage on the end, but it's still like seeing Turnstile when I did at the Foo Bar like 6-7 years ago. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I wish people that are in the Turnstile now could have experienced seeing them with no barricades.
On like a 1 foot stage.
Yeah.
It was like 1 foot or 2 foot stage. Like
compare it to like seeing Converge at like Foo Bar at Exit In versus, seeing them we saw Converge at the pageant also, which was fucking weird.
Speaking of that, Levi, if you're still in here, I remember seeing Converge. Were we at the same Converge show where Levi got his face busted with the microphone? Jacob Bannon.
Yeah,
he had like the
indentions
for like a while.
Yeah. It went off at that one too, man. We were all going nuts. That was an incredible show. All right, gentlemen. Well, what ground didn't we cover that we wanted to?
Any other shows that you got coming up? Just real quick, rapid fire.
We talked about, of course, I've got right after that's Hot Water Music and Quicksand. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's my next show. Technically, I've got a lot on the radar that I'm kind of just holding out before I buy tickets, just because there's so many bands announcing shows and shit's popping up. I think probably the one after that will probably be Maul and Sawed Off.
Okay.
We're gonna go hang out with Garrett if it all works out.
Yep, I'll be there.
Guys.
Working on a plan to go and see Morbid Angel. They're gonna be, I believe like Memphis or Nashville, one of those, and then I believe they're going to Chicago.
Okay.
But I really want to
TBA for me on that one. I will try. I would like to see them too.
That's just kind of like, I don't think it's ever going to happen again. I don't think it will. So
yeah. Outside. So
yeah.
I just wanted to highlight some of the shows I'm going to because I've got the upcoming Thursday
every week.
I am this Thursday. To me, might be the show of the year. Pain of Truth, Harm's Way, Kubla Khan, and Justice for the Damned at Red Flag. I mean, that is literally non-relenting, just one after another, ass beaters. Then that Saturday, I'm going to see Say Anything, Is a Real Boy 20th Anniversary Tour. Then we have Speed, Knocked Loose, The Body, Loathe. Then Can't Swim in Belmont in Capstan at the Old Rock House. And I just signed up for 3 more concerts. June 1st, I'm going to see Hootie and the Blowfish. I'm a Hootie guy. I'm going to Third Eye Blind now, too. I don't know. I just bought my ticket. I'm fucking no. I have no idea.
Oh.
It's $25.
Fuck.
I didn't know you were a Third Eye Blind fan.
Who isn't? That's what I want to be asking. I'm just kidding.
Good question.
And then I officially got tickets for Limp Bizkit.
Nice.
And then the Koyo, One Step Closer, Prize Stores.
Yeah, I fucking wish I could go to that fucking vacation.
What were you saying? Sorry.
Where's the Third Eye Blind show?
Amphitheater.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was going to ask if you were going to go to that, by the way. It's sometime this summer. Dude, they're doing the deals right now where you can get like $25 tickets.
What?
I'm going to have to check that.
Yeah, I got 3. I only paid $80 for 3 amphitheater shows.
Is it on school night?
No, the Hootie's not Limp Bizkit is. Third Eye Blind, I don't even know what day it is.
If it's on a weekend for $25, I'll go there.
Yeah. Lawn Seats, and then Blink in August, and then I'm sure there's going to be Mall in June. There's going to be shows in between before that, so all kinds of shit going on. Can't say no.
Yes, sir.
I have one. It's still up in the air, but Spectral Voice is playing it off Broadway on Sunday with Furnace Floor and Snort Dagger. Really going to be Snort Dagger's last show.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, according to Midwest Metal Punks said it was probably going to be their last show.
Yeah.
So I might go up there for that. I'm still debating on it. It just depends. Got a busy weekend, and I've had a very, very stressful week, which is why I'm scatterbrained on all of my picks when I was talking. But
you did good, son.
It's all good. Yeah. We did good, boy.
I really would love to see. The new Spectral Voice album is definitely in my top 5. That might change because we got a lot left.
Oh yeah, dude. May and June is about to be fucking nuts with releases starting Friday for me. Today was nuts. Real quick, I know we've went long, but four new records for me today that I've enjoyed. That 2 of them I've already bought. Mm-hmm. So, and then 1 next Friday I'm buying. So, I don't know about you guys, but it's about to heat up for me, like purchases.
Yeah. So, I had to back off some of my pre-orders because I was like, damn, man, there's too much shit in May and June specifically, man. Just way too much stuff. Shit, boys, there's stuff coming out that probably we don't even know about. I mean, there's like a lot of speculation about albums that might come out the rest of the year as well. Yeah. So,
new shellac.
Keep them around, and this will be the channel to tune into for talk about it without question. Is either Waxing On with R&J or the ATI was talking about music on these 2 channels without question. Waxing On with R&J, follow them on Instagram. If you're here right now, you know where it's at. But if you're watching this on the on-demand version, of course, at Waxing RJ. And then we've got ATI Podcast at the ATI Podcast on Instagram. We're both more active on this than anything. I know you guys are working on your Facebook lately.
We're over there trying.
Once a month, I upload videos to TikTok if that's your thing. But I think it's about to get banned in the U.S., so don't worry about that. Facebook, we got the Facebook group where we do a lot of collaboration. Jake is very good, very active on that.
Comment about shit back to me. That's what I'm asking questions, people. I know you like music. I don't care what you like. Just tell me what you like.
Let's talk about music, folks.
Anything fun.
We thank anybody that's tuned in tonight. I don't know that anybody stood the storm with us the entire time other than Matt Weiser. Thank you, sir. Yeah. I've noticed that you've been in the chat the whole time here. So we'll see you guys on the flip side. So stay safe out there, all right?
Sounds good. We'll see you. Bye.
Hey there, this is Barrett from the ATI Podcast here to talk about what we have going on the ATI Podcast Network. First, we'll start with Waxing On with R&J. The format of Waxing On with R&J is audible selections made exclusively by our hosts and brothers, Ridge Jackson and Jake Jackson. Waxing On with R&J is sure to tickle your inner eardrums with some of the most vile tones you've ever encountered, and conversely, ear candy with pop melodies, focusing on spotlighting underground and rising artists. Waxing On with R&J is another outlet of the ATI podcast community to bring awareness to many musicians' craft. Also found on the ATI Podcast Network, Nod Narb's Closet, hosted by Brandon Stewart of Edos Inn. Nod Narb's Closet is a wing of the ATI podcast programming that delves into the world of role-play games, miniature painting, diorama making, occasional pro wrestling match watch-alongs, providing commentary with a dash of jocularity and satire, and much, much more. Of course, leading the pack is the ATI Podcast. On the ATI Podcast, we episodically invite guests onto our show to spotlight their talents, whether that's musicians, filmmakers, artists, actors, businesses, even athletes. Nothing is off the table. The focus of the ATI Podcast and its collective creative arms, whether that's waxing on with R&J or Nard's Closet, is to bring awareness and focus to people's talents. Be sure to follow us across all traditional podcasting platforms, and for the full experience, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search the ATI Podcast. Stay safe out there.